Hello everyone, and welcome to my next LP. This one's a bit unusual, as you can see. First off, as you may notice, it's a DS game, and I've got the layout left-right. I think it just looks better that way when you're watching it, and it works better with the widescreen resolutions than top-down. But, there's a couple reasons I really wanted to do Ace Attorney Investigations. The series as a whole is one of my favorites on the DS, like bar none. And actually, I'm going to start up the game and talk over the opening scroll, so you're not just sitting here looking at nothing. So let's start up a new game, and our first episode, which is Turnabout Visitor, and the opening scroll will play. But really, why I wanted to play this, as I said, it's one of my favorite series, but this game in particular wasn't played by very many people. It sold very poorly, which is something I'm still kind of pissed about, because it means we never got the sequel. There was a second Ace Attorney Investigations that came out only in Japan, not in the US. But I actually really like the gameplay of this one, and I think it'd be a lot better to watch than the other games in the series. And I also don't know it as well. Uh-oh. That's not good. So I think it'd be more interesting to watch. I don't know it as well, so that'll also be more interesting. A puzzle game where the player knows everything isn't that interesting to watch. It's more a walkthrough than a let's play. I haven't played this game in like 2 years. So that's, yeah, I'm kind of muddled. And there's us, Miles Edgeworth. A whole month Edgeworth? That's amazing. I'm probably not going to read people's text aloud that much. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how good you're going to be with that, Edgeworth. God. Yeah, I'm probably not going to read them aloud too much, but I'm a little tired. It's 8:30, which isn't really that late for me, but I just had to take a little drink there because my throat is doing what it does. Yeah, this game wasn't played this much, and I actually really enjoyed it overall. I thought it was one of the stronger games in the series. Blood, highlighted in red. So, I mean, I guess that's really it. I mean, I thought I'd be able to do an interesting playthrough, and I want more people to see this game, and raise interest in it. I mean, I don't have any subscribers at the moment, but, over time, people will see this. I think it was a pity that more people didn't play this. And who's this mysterious masked intruder? Or not masked, but we don't know who they are. That is a lot of nerve. And Edgeworth is just awesome. He's one of my favorite characters in the series. You got a guy pointing a gun at your back, murder's been committed in your office, and you're just being awesome. ... I probably should read at least some of it aloud. If I skip through too fast, I'm sorry. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a multitude of cases in some very frantic and busy days. This case is actually slightly in the middle of the game. The next case, at least, is a prequel to this. So, we're in our offices. ... Alright, forensics is getting their job done. Alright, go continue to be worthless, and we will go and actually be useful. And of course, Gumshoe barges in with his usual theatrics. Indeed, Edgeworth. I mean, I don't know if I should read it all aloud or just talk about it or what. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away. Good on you, Gumshoe. Yes, Gumshoe's another recurring character. Edgeworth was the main rival in the first game of the series, and Edgeworth has been in basically, I think he's actually been in every single game. He showed up briefly in Apollo Justice, I think. Did he? He might not have, actually. I don't remember. I don't think he did. Yeah, he's sort of inept, as you'll see. Gumshoe. Edgeworth always looks pale. Yes, of course, Edgeworth is fine. I mean, because my other LP I'm doing, Knights of the Old Republic, you know, I don't have to read anything loud, because everything's pretty much voiced. So, I mean, I don't do voices well. No one gets away with tracking. I'll figure this out by the time I record the next episode, hopefully. Well, I mean, I'll be recording them both at once. But hopefully I'll figure it out as I record. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over this whole thing. This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Ho ho, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. You know, so isn't it the police's job to solve it and you just prosecute? The whole legal system in the Ace Attorney universe is kind of screwy. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we are to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? And this is one of the cool sort of new features of this game compared to the old ones. You get sort of, this goes into like your logic folder, and you can connect pieces of information. We'll get into that in a little bit. Yes, logic. I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. So, as you can see over here, this is our evidence. We've got profiles and evidence here. Excuse me. Which was always in the previous games. The victim and Dick Gumshoe. And then all we have is our prosecutor's badge. We can't actually open up the logic right now. I get the nagging feeling this... Did I read that? I think I read that. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. And he's waving his keys around. The key to your office? As you can see, anything that's green will end up going into our logic. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Yes, this is the logic tutorial. Logic? Gumshoe has never heard of it. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. This is something that really sort of puts Edgeworth, I think, as a character apart from Phoenix, right? Which I guess isn't really the best introduction to this series, but God, I just have to keep drinking or my voice just goes to all hell. So how do you use it? Yes, of course, Gumshoe looks terribly confused. First, I recall information through the logic button and then connect them together. Now, to touch the logic button and recall the facts, or we could just press L. So let's see. We've got two things: the crime scene. Is it a coincidence that the murder took place in my office? And the office key, because there's locks. So we just connect the two pieces. I'm gonna need to fix that. But never mind what I just said. It's not important. For security reasons, old prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. No, really? Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. Ergo, it is impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? And we get a new piece of information. You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. This first case won't be very hard. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, I mean, it's really just the tutorial case. And there's our health meter, effectively. If we make too many wrong guesses and so on, we lose health, and if we run out, it's game over. Previous games, the health meter was effectively the judge getting mad at you, for the most part. This game, it's you straying from the truth because it doesn't take place in a courtroom. But if I think carefully before placing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! The basis of any good examination is to examine... The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that, and when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button, or hit A. You can play it either or. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just touch the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Not really. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. And Gumshoe, Edgeworth echoes our sentiment. Alright, so... Yep, that's the button. You called, sir? No, not really. And we could always talk to him or present information, but we don't really care. So let's see. What have we here? So we've got the murder, what looks like the murder weapon here. So, I mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of the gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know. I was issued the exact same model. I think. Oh, Gumshoe, you're so worthless. Detective... I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. He is the most worthless police officer. Now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. And we get information about the resolver. Yes, the resolver. Alright, so, let's talk to this guy. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes sir, nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet, there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. Let's see. There's some stuff up here. I don't think any of this is important. Oh, it's your trophy, the Knight of Prosecutors, right? King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes, but I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. Oh, Edgeworth. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's smart advice. Oh yes, Edgeworth will be threatening Gumshoe with his salary many times over. Yeah, there's kind of a mess right here, so we ought to look this over. They finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. And it flips over to the touchscreen, so we can poke around. I'm not actually using the touchscreen. I'm using the D-pad. This looks like a wallet. What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge, detective. And I mix up their voices because I don't read the names before I... Oh hey, I have the exact same thing actually. What a coinkydink. ... Let's take a look inside. Mr. Buddy Faith. It would appear that our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. Right, so it's pretty obvious, you can see. The victim was a detective, and the revolver was used by detectives. So let's connect those. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What have we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. The guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Alright, now we have that added as a piece of evidence. Which is nifty. Are you going to be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. Edgeworth has is pretty good at keeping everything organized. Yes, everything's in the organizer. You can just flip it open. It's pretty simple. We're still in the tutorial, of course. Alright, so... Alright, so we can look around. So we can zoom in. Okay, that's how I do. So we can rotate it and look around and zoom in and out. Let's examine the chamber. Looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the Vic with just one shot after wresting the gun from him? Sounds like the guy knew how to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that is a distinct possibility. Let's see, what else do we got here? Some files. So it looks like there was a struggle, which gives us a little bit more information to piece together. Poor Gumshoe. I mean, this just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I watered the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just added cleaning to the list as a weekend special. Gumshoe. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? Not really. And finally, let's take a look at the body. Or the holster. I didn't mean to. I just can't get over that, sir. It's not right. We're gonna get the killer for this. Maybe it's because the victim is a fellow detective. But for a second, Gumshoe sounded even more detective-like than usual. Which is to say, he sounded vaguely detective-like. Right, I didn't actually mean to examine the holster, but the body. Let's give the body a once-over. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. It looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In other words, he was shot. Yep, and until the autopsy is done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Alright, got a bit more evidence. Yep, looks like it's about all we're gonna find out for now. Who's this? Why, oh why, how could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me, leave me alone. Just let me be. Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't you just talk about him like he's some lump of flesh? Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a blood-stained suit, pal. He looks vaguely familiar. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes, I am. I'm Jack Portman, prosecutor. Jim here is my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Dumbshoe. Gick, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth. My voice. I can't do voices from Jack. So you're Miles Edgeworth? I guess this is your office? Yes, that is correct. Then it was you. You're the one who killed Jim. Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. You've already gone over that, Portsman. I think I'm gonna have to stop reading everything aloud. It's just sort of not working for me. You guys can read it and I'll try and take some time and answer it, I guess. But wasn't Edgeworth out for like a month? No, of course not, we know that. He's got an alibi. Good job, Gumshoe. And he doesn't realize what he's saying yet. And it takes him a second. No, he wasn't Jack. He's too inept to actually shoot anyone. Yes, indeed. No, I've always wondered, but, you know, when in all these games and stuff like that, they always end up doing, like, you know, exclamation marks or question marks exclamation marks in speech. And it never really, I mean, I don't know what that means. Mr. Portsman, correct? Yes, stay collected, though not everyone's as good at not feeling emotions as you, Edgeworth. Not everyone has such I can't speak today. Not everyone has had as much childhood trauma as you to end up without any emotions. No, really? He is. He's cool. Dot, 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 dot. The genius prosecutor. Everyone has a title in these games. Bit of a legend. Thank you very much. Alright, sounds good. Another head won't hurt. That's not really Edgeworth's style. And he just leaves him hanging. It's alright. We're fine. We'll let you have your time. I want to get out of this conversation. It's been 25 minutes. He handshakes with everyone. You're so weird. So weird. Alright. That looks like about a good time to stop. So next time we'll continue poking around and see if we can find anything else interesting. I'll see you then.